Outside of Cody, Wyoming, the Heart Mountain Interpretive Center sits on land that was once used as a relocation center to intern Americans of Japanese descent during World War II. This past weekend, the center held its 7th annual pilgrimage. Q2's Zoe Zandora was there and reports tonight.
My name is 32198F. Some of you may not be familiar with that. The 32198 is the family designation that we had as internees.
75 years ago, on February 19, 1942, President Franklin Roosevelt signed an executive order 9066, instructing all persons of Japanese ancestry be placed in facilities. 120 unprepared Japanese American men, women, and children were taken from their homes by the U.S. government and incarcerated to designated military zones, one of the zones being Heart Mountain in Cody, Wyoming.
I used to be here. I was a prisoner here at Heart Mountain from 1942 to 45, 3 years.
Our first experience was with the FBI. They came to our home and they confiscated anything that they felt was necessary.
My grandfather died of colon cancer in a ward right across the other side. And I looked at his medical records, and he starved to death. It was awful. They weren't feeding him.
The 7th annual pilgrimage of Heart Mountain internees come together 75 years later to remember and educate in an effort to stop history from repeating itself.
And it is important that we continue this kind of a pilgrimage to make sure that what happened to 120,000 people never ever occurs again.
In August of 2011, the Heart Mountain Wyoming Foundation opened its doors to the Heart Mountain Interpretive Center, a museum dedicated to passing on the Heart Mountain story to future generations.
We feel it's important to honor our ancestors and especially honor those that were actually incarcerated here as children, because now those children are, in their 80s and 90s. And they're still here, they're still alive, and they're still with us. And we're trying to really embody for their children and grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren the importance of preserving this site and telling this story for generations to come.
Through photographs, artifacts, and interactive exhibits, guests to the center experience life at Heart Mountain through the eyes of those Japanese and Japanese Americans that were confined at the camp during World War II.
My wife and I came here and said, somebody, someday, ought to do something so that this place can teach the many lessons and tell the many stories that this country needs to know in order to, in fact, learn from, improve from, become a better place.
Raymond Uno was 12 years old when he and his family were picked up and taken to Heart Mountain and was an internee from 1942 to 1945.
In America, we have to learn about our mistakes, and the evacuation and the incarceration of the Japanese was considered one of the worst wartime mistakes. And the lesson that all of us here are trying to convey is that don't ever let this happen again.
Sam Mihara, a Heart Mountain internee, says he finds many young people are not being taught about what happened.
Many of them don't realize that an entire group of a single race, mostly American citizens, were removed from homes in California, Oregon, and Washington and forced to come to a prison like they created here. So my job is simply to try to teach people what really happened.
It's a very unusual thing to lock up over 120,000 individuals of Japanese descent, 2/3 of which were American citizens, including my parents. Why is it important to remember this? Well, number one, history has the ability to repeat itself. And if you memorialize a travesty that the government has acknowledged as being wrong, and they did apologize to the Japanese American community, I think that it's important that that message not be lost.
Thank you for returning and keeping the memories, assuring it will not happen again. And yet the seeds of that are being sown, and it is up to all of us here this day to bear the responsibility to see that it never takes root. God bless you all. Thank you.
In Cody, Wyoming, Zoe Zandora, MTN News.
Thank you, Zoe. Zoe says now looking forward, one of the primary goals at the Interpretive Center is to enlarge it, stabilize and restore all the buildings as they did with the chimney there, which remains an iconic symbol of Heart Mountain.